Elizabeth Helen, authors of the Beasts of the Briar series.
The Beasts of the Briar series is a why choose fantasy, romance, Beauty and the Beast retelling, where Belle doesn't have to choose between the 4 cursed fae princes and the 1 mysterious villain. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Helen.
And we're going to be talking about how to write a steamy sex scene for a fantasy novel.
When writing the Beasts of the Briar series, we had to write a lot of spicy scenes. So we definitely picked up some tips and tricks along the way.
And we'd love to share them with you, whether you're going to be writing your own romantasy novel or you just like to see the behind-the-scenes process.
Step number 1 is adding tension. You want to layer this in for your whole book before the characters get anywhere near a bedroom.
Every scene, you want to be building their relationship so that the payoff is that much sweeter when it finally happens.
Some ways to build the tension are making the characters enemies, having an outside force of why they can't be together, whether that's magical or just another character that is in the way.
Step number 2 is setting the scene. Remember, your setting can be just as much of a character as your 2 main protagonists, or 3 or 4 main protagonists, depending on what you're writing.
You're in a fantasy world, so get creative with it. Whether the characters are sheltering from the cold in a cave, or maybe it's a rainy day and they happen upon an inn, but the inn only has 1 bed available. Step number 3 is get creative. You're writing a fantasy novel. Your world doesn't have to be constrained, so neither does your spice.
So you can tie in your spice with your magic system. Maybe that means extra special moves in the bedroom, certain added appendages, or even different forms. The world is yours and your heroine's oyster. Step 4 is when we're actually in the spiciness part of it. We don't want to just be describing the physical actions. We want to be looking at the emotions of the characters, what they're thinking and feeling as well.
So go deep into their heads. Is this a relief to them? Are they angry or are they just so happy and in love? What emotion is driving this scene? It's especially fun when you do dual POV and you can see the contrasting between the 2 characters. Step number 5 is tying in the world.
You're writing a fantasy novel, so everything affects the world around you, whether it's the politics or the magic system, including the spice. So does this action in some way affect either of those? For example, are they political enemies? Or was this joining going to change their magic in any way? These are important questions to ask yourself when you start world building. Our final tip is something to ask yourself after the scene is done, and that is, what has changed?
So after this deed, how are your characters different? What is going through their heads emotionally? Are they relieved? Are they happy? Are they angry? Is there consequences to the outside world? And is there something different in their magic?
In Romantasy, our main characters are going to be driving the plot, so looking at how their relationship has changed or evolved with each other is going to be crucial to leading to the next part of your book. Thank you for listening to our tips and tricks about writing a steamy sex scene in a fantasy novel. We hope you found them helpful.
Remember, there are no hard and fast rules, so use these as a guideline, and I think when you sit down with your keyboard and your laptop, that you will find your own adventure.
Happy writing and happy reading.
Bye!